Listening section directions. This test measures your ability to understand conversations and lectures in English. The listening section is divided into two separate timed parts. You will hear each conversation or lecture only one time. After each conversation or lecture, you will answer some questions on it. The questions typically ask about the main idea and supporting details. Some questions ask about a speaker's purpose or attitude. Answer the questions based on what is stated or implied by the speakers. You may take notes while you listen. You may use your notes to help you answer the questions. Notes will not be scored. In some questions, you will see this icon. This means that you will hear, but not see. Part of the question. Some of the questions have special directions. These directions appear in a gray box on the screen. Most questions are worth 1 point. If a question is worth more than 1 point, it will have special directions that indicate how many points you can receive. You must answer each question. After you answer, click on Next, then click on OK to confirm your answer and go on to the next question. After you click on OK, you cannot return to previous questions. In an actual test or during this practice test, a clock at the top of the screen will show you how much time is remaining. The clock will not count down while you are listening. The clock will count down only while you are answering questions. Click on Continue at any time to dismiss these directions.
Listen to a conversation between a student and the registrar as the student goes to submit a document required for graduation. Good morning, Miss Essen. I hope you're doing well. I'm here to submit a document required for graduation.
Good morning. I'm doing fine, thank you. Congratulations on nearing the end of your academic journey. I'd be happy to assist you with the document submission. Could you please provide me with the document you need to submit?
Thank you. Here it is. It's my completed thesis, which I've worked on for the past year. I'm relieved to finally have it finished.
That's wonderful. I understand how much effort goes into completing a thesis. I'll make sure to review it and ensure all the requirements are met for graduation. Please allow me a moment to check the document.
Of course, take your time. I appreciate your assistance.
Thank you for your patience. I've reviewed your thesis, and I must say, it's an impressive piece of work. You've shown great dedication and research skills. However, I noticed a small formatting issue in the references section. It seems that the indentation is inconsistent. Would you like me to guide you on how to correct it?
Oh, I apologize for that oversight. Yes, please. I would appreciate your guidance on fixing the formatting issue.
Not a problem. Let me show you how to fix it. First, you'll need to select the entire references section. Then, go to the paragraph formatting options and choose the hanging indent. This will ensure that the first line of each reference is flush left, while the subsequent lines are indented.
Thank you for explaining that. I'll make the necessary changes right away.
You're welcome. Take your time to make the adjustments. Once you're done, please resubmit the corrected document to me. I'll review it again and provide you with the final approval for graduation.
I'll make sure to double-check everything and correct the formatting as per your guidance. I'll submit the corrected document to you by the end of the day. Thank you so much for your help.
What is the main purpose of the student's visit to the registrar? According to the dialogue, what issue did the registrar find in the student's thesis? What does the registrar offer to do when she notices the formatting issue in the references section? Why does the registrar mention she'll review the document again after the student makes corrections? What can be inferred about the importance of the document to the student?
Listen to part of a lecture in an animal behavior class. The topic of today's lecture is to examine the consequences of habitat selection by animals.
Good morning, class. Today, we're going to discuss the fascinating world of animal behavior and explore the consequences of habitat selection. Animals often exhibit specific preferences when it comes to choosing their habitats, and these choices can have significant impacts on their survival and the overall ecosystem. Now, before we start, let's see if anyone has any questions or observations they'd like to share.
Yes, Professor. I was wondering how animals decide which habitat is suitable for them. Are there specific factors they consider?
Excellent question, Sarah. Animals indeed take several factors into account when selecting their habitats. These factors can include food availability, shelter, water sources, temperature, and the presence of predators or competitors. For instance, certain bird species may prefer habitats with dense tree canopies for nesting, as they protect from predators and the elements. Now, let's move on to the consequences of such habitat selection. When animals choose their habitats, it has a profound impact on their survival and reproductive success. Consider the example of the cheetah, a magnificent predator known for its incredible speed. Cheetahs prefer open grasslands where visibility is high, allowing them to spot prey from a distance and utilize their speed to launch successful hunts. However, if their preferred habitat undergoes significant changes, such as deforestation or human encroachment, it can disrupt their hunting strategies and lead to a decline in their population. Habitat selection also influences the distribution and abundance of other species within an ecosystem. Let's take the example of a coral reef. Different fish species prefer specific microhabitats within the reef, such as crevices or coral heads. This partitioning of habitats reduces competition for resources and allows for a more diverse and balanced community. In contrast, if a particular habitat within the reef is destroyed or degraded, it can have cascading effects on the entire ecosystem, impacting not only the fish but also the coral and other organisms dependent on them. Another consequence of habitat selection is the phenomenon of coevolution. Animals and plants that have evolved together in a specific habitat develop intricate relationships. For instance, certain flowers have evolved specific shapes, colors, and nectar compositions to attract particular pollinators. In turn, these pollinators have adapted their feeding behaviors to efficiently extract nectar from those flowers. This mutual dependence between species is a result of their shared habitat and has shaped their evolutionary trajectories. Understanding the consequences of habitat selection is crucial for conservation efforts. By identifying the specific habitats that endangered species require for survival, we can work towards preserving and restoring those habitats to ensure their long-term viability. Conservationists can create wildlife corridors, protected areas, and habitat restoration projects based on the knowledge of animal behavior and habitat requirements.
What is the main topic of today's lecture in the animal behavior class? According to the professor, what factors do animals consider when selecting their habitats? What is the purpose of the professor mentioning the cheetah's habitat preference and the consequences of changes to it? Why does the professor mention the partitioning of habitats within a coral reef? What is the likely outcome of habitat destruction within a coral reef, according to the professor? What can be inferred about the professor's view on coevolution resulting from habitat selection?
Listen to part of a lecture in an art history class. The topic of today's lecture is how opportunities for women artists in Paris improved.
Good afternoon, class. Today, we're going to explore the fascinating history of women artists in Paris and how they managed to break through the barriers that limited their opportunities. Before we dive into the topic, let's start with a question. Can anyone name a well-known female artist who emerged during this period?
Yes, Professor. Frida Kahlo is one artist who comes to mind.
Excellent. Frida Kahlo is indeed a renowned artist, but she emerged in a different cultural context. Today, we'll focus on the advancements made by women artists, specifically in Paris during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Now, let's continue with the lecture. During the 19th century, Paris was considered the center of the art world. It was a vibrant hub for creativity, attracting artists from all over the world. However, opportunities for women artists were severely limited. They were often excluded from prestigious art institutions, denied access to life drawing classes, and faced significant societal expectations and biases that hindered their artistic careers. Despite these challenges, several remarkable women artists emerged and made significant contributions to the art world. One such artist was Berve Morisot. She was a leading figure in the Impressionist movement, and one of the few women who exhibited alongside prominent male artists. Morisot's delicate brushwork and exploration of domestic subjects challenged societal norms and paved the way for other women artists. Another influential artist during this period was Mary Cassatt. She was an American artist who settled in Paris and became known for her intimate and insightful portrayals of women and children. Cassatt's participation in Impressionist exhibitions and her ability to capture the nuances of everyday life helped establish her as a respected artist in her own right. The late 19th century also saw the rise of artist collectives and societies that provided platforms for women artists to showcase their work. One such group was the Union des Femmes Painters et Sculpteurs, Union of Women Painters and Sculptors, founded in 1881. This organization organized exhibitions exclusively for women artists, allowing them to gain visibility and recognition for their artistic talents. The breakthrough for women artists in Paris came in the early 20th century with the advent of modernism. Modernist movements like Fauvism and Cubism challenged traditional artistic conventions and opened doors for women artists to experiment and express themselves freely. Artists like Sonia Delaunay and Tamara de Lempicka embraced these new artistic styles and achieved international acclaim for their innovative works. It's important to note that while opportunities improved for women artists, they still faced significant hurdles and inequalities. Many women artists had to navigate societal expectations of marriage and motherhood while pursuing their artistic careers. Nevertheless, their contributions to the art world cannot be overlooked, and their perseverance paved the way for future generations of women artists.
What is the main topic of today's art history lecture? According to the professor, why were opportunities for women artists in Paris limited during the 19th century? What is the purpose of the professor mentioning Berthe Morisot in the lecture? Why does the professor mention the Union des Femmes Painters et Sculpteurs in the lecture? What is the likely outcome of the advent of modernism for women artists in Paris? What can be inferred about the societal expectations faced by women artists in the late 19th century?
Listen to a conversation between a student and a business professor. They are discussing strategies for attracting customers.
Good morning, Professor Johnson. I wanted to talk to you about a business idea I have. I want to start a small cafe in the neighborhood, but I'm not sure how to attract customers. Do you have any suggestions?
Good morning, Sarah. That sounds like an exciting venture. Attracting customers is indeed a crucial aspect of running a successful business. There are several strategies you can consider to draw in customers to your cafe. First, you need to identify your target market and understand their preferences. Who are the people in your neighborhood, and what kind of cafe experience would they enjoy?
Well, the neighborhood has a mix of young professionals, families, and students. I think they would appreciate a cozy and comfortable atmosphere with a variety of food and drink options.
That's a good start, Sarah. Understanding your target market is essential for tailoring your offerings to their needs. Alongside that, you can focus on creating a strong brand identity for your cafe. Develop a unique and appealing name, logo, and overall aesthetic that resonates with your target audience. This will help differentiate your cafe from competitors and attract customers who align with your brand.
That makes sense, Professor. I'll work on creating a distinct brand for my cafe. What else can I do to attract customers?
One effective strategy is to offer special promotions and discounts, especially during the initial stages of your cafe. Consider offering introductory offers or loyalty programs to incentivize customers to visit and return. Additionally, you can collaborate with local businesses or organizations to host events or cross-promotions. This can help expand your reach and attract a wider customer base.
Those are great ideas, Professor Johnson. I'll make sure to incorporate promotions and collaborations into my marketing plan. Is there anything else I should consider?
Absolutely, Sarah. In today's digital age, having a strong online presence is crucial. Create a user-friendly website that showcases your menu, ambiance, and any special events or promotions. Utilize social media platforms to engage with your audience, share updates, and respond to customer feedback. Online reviews and positive word of mouth can significantly impact your customer base.
I hadn't thought about the online aspect, but you're right, Professor. I'll prioritize building a website and establishing a social media presence. Thank you for your guidance.
You're welcome, Sarah. Remember, attracting customers is an ongoing process. Continuously monitor and analyze customer feedback and preferences to adapt your offerings and marketing strategies accordingly. And don't forget the power of excellent customer service. Building a loyal customer base is as important as attracting new customers.
I will, Professor. Thank you for all your advice. I'm feeling more confident about starting my cafe now.
What is the main topic of the conversation between the student and the business professor? According to Professor Johnson, What is crucial in today's digital age for attracting customers to a cafe? What does Professor Johnson advise the student to prioritize in her marketing plan? Why does Professor Johnson mention the importance of customer service towards the end of the conversation? What can be inferred about the student's initial concern regarding attracting customers to her cafe?
Listen to part of a lecture in an art history class. Today, we're going to delve into the fascinating topic of the printing press and its impact on society, particularly in the realm of book accessibility. But before we explore the profound changes brought about by the printing press, let's take a step back and discuss an important aspect of human history: vision correction. The reason we're discussing vision correction is because it played a crucial role in laying the foundation for the development of the printing press. In the centuries leading up to the invention of the printing press, there was a growing need for improved vision correction methods, particularly for those engaged in scholarly pursuits. Before the advent of the printing press, books were produced through laborious and time-consuming methods such as manuscript writing and illumination. These books were often expensive, rare, and limited in availability. Moreover, due to the lack of standardized font sizes and the intricate nature of handwritten texts, individuals with vision impairments faced significant challenges when trying to access and read these books.
So, how did vision correction contribute to the development of the printing press?
Great question, Sarah. The demand for improved vision correction methods led to advancements in lens technology, culminating in the invention of eyeglasses. The introduction of eyeglasses in the 13th century revolutionized the way people with vision impairments could engage with the written word. Suddenly, individuals who previously struggled to read could now do so with greater ease and accuracy. The widespread use of eyeglasses not only enhanced reading capabilities but also fueled a growing demand for books. People now had the means to engage more extensively with written materials. This increased demand, coupled with the desire for more efficient book production, eventually led to the invention of the printing press. With the advent of the printing press in the 15th century, books became more accessible to a broader audience. The ability to mass-produce books allowed for quicker dissemination of knowledge, breaking down the barriers that existed in the previous manuscript era. Books could now be produced at a faster rate, in larger quantities, and at a lower cost. The printing press facilitated the spread of ideas, democratizing access to knowledge and contributing to significant societal transformations. It played a pivotal role in the Renaissance, the Reformation, and the scientific revolution, by providing a platform for scholars, scientists, and artists to share their discoveries and observations.
What is the main topic of the lecture in the art history class? According to the professor, what was the impact of eyeglasses on individuals with vision impairments in the 13th century? Why does the professor discuss the challenges faced by individuals with vision impairments before the invention of the printing press? What does the professor imply about the relationship between vision correction and the demand for books? What is the likely outcome of the increased accessibility of books due to the printing press, according to the professor? What can be inferred about the significance of the printing press in the context of human history?